Imagine you're walking through a rainforest and you see an ant hanging from a leaf. It looks normal at first, but then you notice something weird. There's fungus growing out of its head. You see, this ant, it didn't just die naturally, it was killed by a fungus. The same fungus that inspired stories like The Last of Us, cordyceps, or the zombie fungus. I'm Dhruv. Welcome to the BioSapientia. Cordyceps is part of a group of fungi known as entomopathogenic fungi or insect killing. Most species of cordyceps thrive in humid and tropical environments where there are lots of insects and the conditions favor fungal growth. Scientists used to consider all species of cordyceps under one genus, but modern genetic studies have led them to be divided into several genera. For example, Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, the species complex that targets ants. The infection starts with spores. Fungal spores are tiny reproductive structures that are similar in their basic function to plant seeds, but they are much smaller and much more resilient. When a spore lands on an ant's exoskeleton, it will release special compounds to stick to the surface. After that, it will release enzymes like proteinases and chitinases to break down the ant's chitin based protective layers. After that, it will grow thread like structure called hyphae throughout the ant's internal tissues. At this stage, the fungus faces a challenge. It can't kill the ant too soon, or it will lose the chance to spread effectively. Instead, it keeps the ant alive while slowly changing its behavior and its physiology. Studies show that the fungus releases compounds that can disrupt the ant's signaling pathways in the muscles and nerves. Researchers have even found changes in genes that are related to circadian rhythm, muscle function, and neural communication. Interestingly, though, the fungus doesn't actually destroy the ant's brain, but instead it controls the body indirectly through biochemical signaling. One of the most impressive aspects of the fungal infection is called behavioral synchronization. Infected ants will leave the colony at specific times, often around solar noon, and they will climb nearby vegetation to the optimal height for fungal reproduction and growth. Fungal growth and reproduction are heavily reliant on environmental factors, and so this behavior boosts their chances of success. The ant eventually bites down onto the vegetation in what scientists refer to as a death grip. This death grip is caused partly by the fungal cells' invasion of the muscles and partly by hypercontraction due to fungal biochemicals. After the ant dies, the fungus enters its reproductive stage. Hyphae continue to consume the ant's internal tissues, but they leave the exoskeleton behind for structural support. A fruiting body, known as stroma scientifically, grows out of the back of the ant's head. From here, spores develop and are released. Since ants travel in predictable paths, the spores have a high likelihood of finding new hosts. This is a highly efficient transmission strategy that is shaped by natural selection, a topic we cover in other videos. Today, we're going to be talking about the life of Charles Darwin, the godfather of modern evolution. His proposition that all life on Earth descended from a common ancestor is now considered a fundamental scientific concept. This level of specialization comes around over millions of years of coevolution. The fungi develop ways to bypass the ant's immune defenses, and the ants come up with countermeasures for the fungal infection. Some ant colonies have even found ways to recognize infected ants and remove them from the colony, and others avoid spore filled areas. The interaction between parasite and host is a classic example of how evolution drives complexity in biology. Cordyceps fungi are also important scientifically beyond their effects on insect behavior. Some species produce compounds that are of medical interest. For example, Cordyceps militaris produces cordycepin, a molecule that is similar to adenosine. Adenosine, in turn, is used in cellular energy transfer and RNA synthesis. RNA synthesis is the process that allows genetic instructions to be turned into proteins. Researchers have also looked into cordycepin for potential anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial properties. Another species, Cordyceps sinensis, has been used for a long time in traditional medicines and has recently been researched for metabolism and immune regulation. However, many commercial claims about the effects of cordyceps supplements lack strong clinical evidence. The biology of cordyceps also highlights how complex fungi can be. You see, people view fungi as simple organisms, but they are capable of a lot. A fungal network can sense in their environment, communicate chemically, and coordinate complex developmental processes. In many ways, fungi represents the balance between simplicity and complexity in biology. Naturally, in a video about cordyceps, I have to talk about The Last of Us. The story envisions a scenario where cordyceps evolves to be able to infect humans. Scientifically, though, this is highly unlikely. You see, our body temperatures are already higher than fungi can handle. Controlling behavior in mammals would require significantly more advanced interactions with the nervous system. Still, climate change and rising global temperatures have led scientists to study fungal adaptation more carefully. As environments get warmer, evolution may favor fungi that can stand higher temperatures. In the end, cordyceps is more than just a parasite. It offers insights into evolution, neurobiology, ecology, and biochemistry all at the same time. It shows how natural selection can shape organisms into highly complex biological systems. Most importantly, it reminds us that some of these strangest things in our world come not from fiction, but right out of nature. Thank you for watching the BioSapientia. If you enjoyed the video, leave an interaction like a like or a comment since that can boost us in the algorithm. And make sure to subscribe to get notifications on further videos. If you know someone who may enjoy this, share this with them as well. Thank you and see you next time.